Good mental health is a part of good health overall, and I want to share with you in this video 7 pillars that determine good overall health and that will support your mental health as well. So the information I present in this video has been extensively researched through articles and podcasts that have been hosted by experts in the respective fields. All of this information is available online for free. If you want to delve deeper into any of these things, then you are more than welcome to do so. And I also ask, please just do use your common sense to find out whether any of the things that I present in this video will work for you. Because at the end of the day, we're all different. Not one thing is going to work for everyone. So take the feedback that I provide in this video on board, but consider it as part of your own lifestyle. So let's get into pillar number 1, which is movement. If you think back to our ancestors, the hunter-gatherers, they weren't sitting at a desk, they weren't answering emails, they weren't sitting down and doing nothing. Really, they were constantly moving. They were moving and scoping their environment, looking for food, looking for shelter, assessing threats, hunting. So they were constantly moving and using their bodies and using a whole different skill set than what we have to today. So today, the hunter-gatherer skills that our ancestors had, they don't really apply to us. We don't need to go out and hunt our own food. We have an abundance of food available in our society. So we need a whole different skill set in order to survive. And it is about making money. Essentially, if you work for a company, you have to follow orders, you have to do what your boss says, you have some responsibilities. It's a whole different mindset. And for a lot of us, it is about not using our bodies, but using more of our brains. So sitting down, often staring at a screen, completely different lifestyle to what our ancestors had to endure. And for the better, for the most part. We're not thinking about our survival. We're not thinking about if this, predator is going to come and attack us or destroy our homes or steal our food. We're not thinking about when our next meal is coming from, most of us, fortunately. So in many ways, it's a lot better. But it means that there's a lot of things that have been eliminated from our lifestyle that our ancestors would have benefited from. One of them is movement. There was a study published in the Journal of American Medical Association showing that individuals who walked 7,000 steps at least in a day had a 60% reduction in all-cause mortality. They had a significant reduction in their risk for depression, diabetes, cancer, obesity, and other morbidities. So for most of us, where we're sitting at a desk or we're working in an office, we don't really have the opportunity to move while we're working. We don't have the opportunity to move much during the day. And so the research showed that if you can schedule in movement for 1 to 2 minutes every half an hour, that in itself has shown to significantly benefit you in terms of your overall health. So you don't need to think, I need to run a marathon or I need to, walk 5K every day. Of course, that's all positive. That's all forms of exercise that's going to benefit you. But in fact, if you're really in a position during the day where you cannot move, you're unable to leave your desk or leave your work or get enough movement in, schedule in a couple minutes every half an hour of some kind of movement. The point is to get your muscles working, contracting, stretching, getting the muscles working to help promote blood flow, help use up glucose, and that's going to also help to regulate your blood sugar levels at the same time. We can achieve so much benefit through using our body. Sometimes we get so stuck in being in our own mind and being stuck in our own thoughts that we don't think to actually just get out of that by using the body, going for a walk in nature, doing a run, going on a bike machine, doing some exercise. Because by using the body, it's one of the best ways to get out of our own mind, to feel unstuck, and you also get the benefits that the exercise provides that you would not have gotten had you not exercised. So that's why movement is not only such a crucial thing for our overall health, but it really supports long-term positive mental health. The second pillar is diet. It's our food. And more experts and research is showing that food is medicine. Not only is food important for our survival, it is crucial for our health and well-being. I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not an endocrinologist. There are going to be other experts that you can find on YouTube or online who can provide better, more informed guidance or advice around this issue. Get the majority of your food through natural whole foods, and that means reducing your calories from processed foods. Processed foods and ultra processed foods make up the majority of what we see in our supermarkets. If you go, you see the colorful boxes and packaging on the shelves, it's all processed foods. And all you have to do is look at the ingredients and you'll see that something that's advertising a cereal, which should in theory only be a few ingredients, ends up being a long list because they add additives, preservatives, sugar, add all these ingredients that not only do not need for our health and well-being, they can actually be detrimental to our health if consumed regularly over a long period of time. Research has shown how these additives, particularly sugar, can be detrimental to our metabolic health and contribute to us having diabetes, obesity, and there's a pandemic of childhood obesity now because of these foods and because of the hidden sugar inside these foods that are supposedly marketing themselves as healthy. What I would urge you, particularly for your mental health, is to avoid ultra-processed foods as much as you possibly can. Get your food from whole natural sources, include spices, berries in particular, because they're a rich source of antioxidants. Include fiber where you can to help you feel satiated, but also to support your gut health. And also include omega-3 fats. You can find these in fish, eggs. This will help to support your brain function as well. Research has shown how getting your calories in from natural whole foods can significantly reduce your chances of depression, because with ultra processed foods, not only are they laden with ingredients that are not beneficial for us and that can actually in the long term be harmful, they're also addictive, and they also contain high amounts of sugar in some cases. And the sugar gives us that dopamine hit, we feel good, but then we crash and we're dependent on the next hit to make us feel good again. But that is all eliminated if you can get the majority of your calories in from natural whole food. Food is not only important for our mental health and health overall, it is literally our medicine. Review what you're eating, look at your diet, because it's contributing more than you think to your mental health. Pillar number 3 is sleep. Your circadian rhythms impact your mental health because sleep is vital for our lives. It's vital for our mental health and well-being. Life is so full of distractions that the times where we should reflect on what worries we have and what stresses we have, we don't have time to do that because we're distracted by other events of the day. It's only at night where most of us then start to reflect on the day we've had, or start to ruminate and have anxieties and worry, and we start thinking about our thoughts, and then our thoughts carry us along for the rest of the night. You go to bed at 10 and you don't end up sleeping until midnight because all that time you've just been thinking about, I've got to do this tomorrow, or why did I do that today, what happened? So what I would encourage you to do is, first of all, pick the same time every night to go to sleep and the same time every morning to wake up. That's going to help set your circadian rhythms. It will take a little bit of time to adjust to that, but once you adjust, your body is going to be naturally expecting to sleep at a certain time and wake up at a certain time. So you know there's going to be a set time where you wake up, you get to do what you need to for that day, and there's going to be a set time where you start winding down. So let's say you set your bedtime for 9 o'clock. I would say around 7 o'clock, start winding down. Have less artificial light during that time. Put aside any work you've done for the day and start to really wind down. So you might want to start that process by doing a reflection. 10, 15 minutes. How was my day? What went well? What didn't go well? What are the things I need to do tomorrow? So you can really focus in on that. And then you start to relax. You do what you need to relax. You have your meal, you listen to music, whatever it is, just to help your brain relax. You've already scheduled in a time to reflect. That's your opportunity to go over any thoughts you might have, because what you don't want to do is carry those thoughts in by the time you want to go to sleep, because it's going to keep your brain engaged and it's going to be much more difficult to go to sleep. So build yourself a bedtime routine that starts ideally a couple hours before, where you can start to relax, unwind, so that you're ready for good sleep by the time your bedtime comes. In the morning, when you wake up, expose yourself to as much natural light as you possibly can. The point is to get that into your eyes, to activate your brain, and to get you ready for the day ahead. Okay, pillar number 4, stress management. I have not met anyone who has not undergone stress in their life. We all experience stress on some level on some degree and often multiple stresses in our lives. The trick is not to live a stress-free life, not to eliminate stress or escape from it or run away from it, to live with the stress but still remain relatively calm. This is where stress management comes in. It will provide you with a greater resilience on a longer term to combat stress and help with your overall mental well-being. I'm not going to delve in this video into the different tools and techniques that you can apply with stress management. That deserves its own video in the future. But what I will say is, please recognize what impact stress has on you and what impact different types of stress have on you. So maybe after this video, consider spending 5 minutes just writing down about maybe there was a time today you felt particularly stressed. Note what happened and how the stress impacted you emotionally. See where that leads to. See whether you can think of solutions that will help you for next time. But this is the whole point of stress management, is you taking ownership, understanding the stress you've experienced, recognizing it, understanding the impact it's had on you, and then seeing next time what adjustments you can make to help minimize the impact. Okay, pillar number 5 is emotional regulation. This is so key. It's a key part of our overall mental health and resilience, and it is a significant part of pillar number 4, which is the stress management. If you cannot regulate your own emotions, it is not possible to manage the impact that stress has on you. Any stress. It is not even possible to manage the impacts your environment has on you, your immediate environment or the people in it. If you are unable to emotionally regulate yourself, you will be impacted by your environment. We are motivated by what our emotions tell us. So if we're angry, it's very hard to stay sitting still when you're angry. You feel your muscles contract, they're shaking, they want to move, either away from the situation or towards the situation. It might even be not physically, but verbally attacking someone. Because when you feel angry, your body wants to move, wants to take action. It feels overwhelming. Emotional regulation is when you feel that anger, but you do not allow the anger or that emotion to dictate how you behave. That's what emotional regulation is. So for example, let's say you're feeling angry, attack the person verbally, physically. You might want to, physically be violent, punch a door, whatever it is. You might have this urge to just explode from the anger you're experiencing. And where the emotional regulation comes in is that instead of doing that, you might react with a smile, or you might simply remove yourself from that situation, because you have not allowed the emotions you're experiencing to dictate how you behave. You did the opposite. You regulated your emotions by choosing an action that did not feed that emotion. Now, of course, you're going to be in situations that might be genuinely life-threatening, and that's where the stress response kicks in, is to help preserve your life, to help you escape that situation or to fight it, to defend yourself. I'm not talking about those very rare occurrences where we find ourselves in that position. I'm talking about maybe you're bothered by someone, you're in an argument with someone, and you find yourself getting angry and agitated and triggered. Think back to a recent time where you acted in a way that you later regretted. Ask yourself, how often does that happen? Is it the same set of circumstances or the same emotion that gets me every time to react in a way that is not desirable, that I don't want? And if that's the case, look back and think, okay, if I could go back, how would I act differently? And you might notice it's something that you might do again and again. You promise yourself, oh, I'm never going to act that way, but you find yourself yet again acting in that way. So explore how you feel in that moment and what you would have done differently with hindsight and what you can adjust. So have that as a starting point when it comes to emotional regulation, because that's going to help you in so many areas of your life, not just in your life, but in your relationships with other people in different settings is such a valuable tool. Pillar number 6, setting boundaries, because there are so many situations where boundary setting is essential. So what boundaries is basically saying no to other people. And there are so many ways to say no, because we are going to find ourselves in so many situations time after time where saying no is going to be essential for our mental health and well-being. And asserting boundaries is not only allowing yourself to put yourself first, but it's actually in service of preserving the relationship you're in, whether that's a social relationship, professional or personal. Setting boundaries is essential for your mental health. Now, I will delve into this in future videos, but the point I would like you to take away from this is that I want you to recognize the value that you have in other people's lives. I think a lot of us, especially when we're feeling quite low, when we're feeling depressed, even suicidal, is we think we don't matter. We think if we go or if something happens to us, no one's going to care, no one's going to miss us. That's absolutely not the case. This is what our negative mindset is telling us. It's convincing us to do, and it's not the case. You matter. The value that you have is unique to you. That's why setting boundaries is a crucial act of self-preservation. And the thing is, we're taught in our society that it's a selfish thing to do. You shouldn't say no, you should say yes. But actually, you're sacrificing your own well-being for the service of others. You have to recognize the value you have and how setting boundaries is you preserving your value so you can reinvest it in the future. And pillar number 7 is reflection and gratitude. So being grateful is power. It is such a powerful tool for two main reasons, I think. First of all, you learn to appreciate what you have rather than what you don't have. So this helps you to savor what you have in your life, to really see the value in it, to appreciate it, and to appreciate your life for what it is. That is the essence of gratitude. But the second reason it's such a powerful tool is because it's such an effective way to shift from negative mindset into a more positive one. If you're feeling quite low or negative, then undertaking a gratitude exercise can really help to shift your perception towards feeling more grateful, towards feeling positive about what you do have, rather than thinking about what is missing. I've spoken about gratitude, but a key part of gratitude is reflection. It applies to all the other pillars I've discussed. Allow yourself some time in the day, perhaps a few minutes, to reflect on your life. Are you living a life that is generative, which is it's fueled by your passion and purpose and what your value is in the world? Or are you living a life that is reactive, really just reacting to your environment or the people? Now, of course, we're all going to be experiencing both of those things, but I really think the quality of your life is determined by the ratio of whether you're living your life generatively, which is fueled by your inner passion and purpose, or reactively, which is in response to other people, where you're basically reacting and jumping from one stone to the other. We've all got to do that to a degree in our lives. If you are able to live life mostly from a generative place, then you will have a more enhanced quality of life compared to if you're just reacting from situation to situation without having the time to really reflect inwardly and allow the expression of your true self to the world you're living in. Key things that you need to embed in your life to support your overall health, particularly your mental health: movement, diet, sleep, stress management, emotional regulation, setting boundaries, and reflection and gratitude. Thank you so much for watching.